Good evening, guys. How are you? And how was the KVPY exam for those who gave the KVPY exam? By the way, before going ahead with the webinar, let me introduce myself. I'm Anand, and I'm going to host today's webinar, which is how to crack IIT JEE or JEE mains in 30 days. So I hope you guys are excited about that. Let me see a lot of yes in the chat box. Great. So, yo for yes, no for no. So, let's see yo. Okay, guys. So, a quick 2-minute introduction about myself, and then we'll move ahead to the topic, which is how to crack JEE in 30 days. Now, I know you guys are nervous at this point of time because days are going by. You have your school exams, you have your competitive exams in front of you, and exactly there is difficulty in following the balance between the school as well as the competitive exam. So today, after this webinar, which is going to be there for 30 minutes, I will try and cover the most important topics. At the same time, some important tips and tricks required for all of you to crack the most important exam. So I am Anand, and I have done my BTech from IIT Roorkee. Passed out in 2005, and 2006 I started my education journey. Since 2006 till now, I have actually seen a lot of students who have been struggling and few as good as someone getting All India rank 1 in JEE Advanced. So I have covered a lot of spectrum of students, but even if I talk about any student who is at 50,000 rank or a student who has got All India rank 1, at this point of time, everyone is nervous. Trust me, guys. I have seen them also. The AR1s, the AR6, AR7s of the country, and they are also nervous just like you. So you are not alone. Just remember this, you are not alone. So yes, with that experience, what I have gathered, I know that 1.5 years what you have spent till now in preparing for your competitive exam or preparing for your school exam matters, but what matters the most is the last mile, which is going to be next 6 weeks, or post that if you are going to give April exam, then another 6 months. So I think after today's webinar, all of you will go with a positive mindset, and that is my promise to you. So let's start. And in most of the webinar, I covered story, and today I'm going to start with a story of not the rank ones, not the rank 6 or top 10 or top 50, but I'm going to tell you a story of a student who, just like you, prepared 1.5 years only for school exams without any coaching, and in the last 6 months, with a fight, with a spirit that he has to do something, was able to get a very good rank. So his name was Arjun Murlidhar. This student, he came to me in the month of November. So this is month November, and he joined Vedantu's crash course last year, and therefore I'm taking this story because I have seen a lot of students and I can talk about stories of all of them, and it can take me entire day and I will not finish. But this story is very relevant to all of you. This student, when he came to us, he was aspiring somewhere around 5,000 to 10,000 rank. Now you will say 5,000, 10,000. Yes, he was only aspiring that because he did not have any coaching institute. He was only preparing for his school exams. And second or third, he was not able to clear KVPY in 2 attempts. For example, he gave KVPY in 11th, he could not clear it. He gave KVPY in 12th, he could not clear it. So he thought that he's somewhere around 10,000 rank, and that was his aspiration to push himself to 5,000 rank. Now, after joining the crash course, within 15-20 days, we have test. So in that test, I saw him getting 140, 150 marks. Now when I saw 140, 150 out of 360, I realized that the student must have potential because mostly crash course students, they score little low. And when I saw that, I just called him. After a discussion, I realized that he's aiming for 5,000 rank. And currently he is placing himself at 10,000 rank. Now, after discussing what he has done, how he has done, what was his passion, right? What was his determination? I thought he could actually get a 500 rank. So I called up his father and I told him, sir, he is a potential of 500. Why are we putting him at 5,000? And then his father started laughing because he did not realize that he could get 500 rank. And what we did was we just fast forwarded his preparation after the finish of crash course. And that last year, it was in April, the JEE mains. And we just had lot of tests towards the end. And through that, we fast forwarded the entire preparation. And what happened at the end of that was magical. That sometimes, every year there is always a learning for a teacher. And last year I had a learning from him that if you remain calm, if you remain composed, and if you are listening to your mentors, then trust me, you will get a rank which you would not have imagined. And this student, he went on and got a rank of 521 and not 5,000, 521. And not only that, after JEE means he started his preparation from advance because he had not prepared till that time. And from there till advance, we had approximately 40 days. And in that, he went ahead and got a 328 rank. Isn't it interesting, guys? See, actually, this story should inspire you. It has inspired me. And trust me, I have seen a lot of miracles happening in the last 2 months, 3 months, or 6 months of preparation. So, if you really believe in yourself, if you really feel that you can do it, then today's webinar is just going to open your eyes that what to do and what not to do. So before we go ahead and tell you the important topics, how to plan your schedule in this 6 weeks ahead before the Jan exam, and then in January I will also talk about the April exam, but not today. Then just close your eyes, tell yourself a number, and that number is going to be your JEE mains rank. It can be 500, it can be 5,000, it can be 10,000. Just tell yourself loudly that rank. Okay, I think everyone has imagined that. Now tell yourself that I'm going to get that. No matter what, I'm going to get and achieve that rank. Okay, great guys. Chalo, so let's start the webinar. And I believe in you. You should believe in yourself. No matter what your parents think, no matter what your teachers think, no matter what your friends think. Because I was that kind of student myself, whom lot of people did not have belief. But I went ahead and got into IIT. And therefore, in my entire teaching career, I always inspire guys who do not believe in themselves. Right? And of course, those who believe in themselves, I try and ensure that they should not end at 5,000. They should actually end up at 500 or 50 or whatever rank that they deserve. Right? And that is my journey as teacher in the last 12 years. To take you from 5,000 to 500, 50,000 to 5,000, and I have seen a lot of miracles happening in these last 2 months. So let's start the journey. Let's talk what you should be doing. So, okay. So let me start with first telling you that what JEE mains think. JEE mains is not very difficult to crack. Now here in front of you, I have 3 columns. One talks about easy questions, one talks about moderate, and one talks about difficult. Now what is easy? Easy questions are those which are directly based out of NCERT, or those questions in which you can find answers through elimination, or you can find answers by substitution. So these are easy questions. And physics and chemistry, not physics, chemistry and maths are full of easy questions. As you can see here, physics and chemistry and maths have 50 to 60% easy questions. And easy questions are formula based questions, can be solved through substitution or elimination, and they are directly based out of NCERT. And physics in the last 4-5 years, I have seen they have increased their level, and today 30 to 40% of the questions in physics are easy. Now, moderate is application based. So if you have gone to any coaching institute, if you have attended anything, I think the material or you have solved any objective book, the exercise 1, the easiest exercise out of that will have lot of questions, and they are all application based questions. And because JEE means the concepts are repeated, not the questions. So these are also questions where concepts are repeated, and they constitute approximately in physics 40 to 50%, in chemistry and maths 20 to 30%. So together with easy and moderate, you can easily cover 70% of the entire syllabus, and 70% of the questions fall between easy and moderate. In fact, 70 to 80% questions are easy to moderate, is very scoring, and especially chemistry and maths. And people, I have seen, I as a student, I was not very good in maths, but JEE mains, and I have seen papers of JEE mains, even today I can solve it by substituting lot of questions, by eliminating lot of answers. And as students, we just fear, and fear is the biggest factor because of which we are not able to attempt a lot of questions, or at that point of time, because of that fear, we are not able to put our mind into the right frame, and because of that we commit mistake. So why I am telling you all this is because today, at the end of this webinar, I will ensure that at least this top 10,000 rank is guaranteed. Top 10,000 rank is, if you are above 50% marks in JEE mains, then top 10,000 rank is definitely guaranteed. And you can easily see that easy and moderate questions, if you are able to attempt, you will be able to get 50%, because you don't have to cover the entire topics. Because people ask, sir, which topic to focus, what to do, I have not completed. So I just tell them, do whatever you do, just go in deep of that, and do not try to cover the entire thing, because even if you cover, you may not be able to score marks out of them. So only cover those topics in which you feel that you can score 100% marks. What are those topics? I will come. And suppose if you are able to cover all easy and moderate, and you end up getting 60% marks and above, you will end up getting top 5,000 rank. Isn't it interesting? And obviously, I know that there are a lot of students who are already at 5,000, and they can get into 500 or top 50 or top 10 rank. And the only way to do is, at this point of time, for you guys, those who are already at top 5,000, what you should be doing is, you should not leave any topic, because those who already are there, you have to cover the entire length and breadth of the subjects, especially chemistry, and then maths, and then physics. That should be the order. Now let's go ahead and tell you what to do in physics, what to do in chemistry, what to do in maths. So this is the entire, what I have done is squeeze the entire thing and try to bring the entire schedule in such a way that in 6 weeks, you will be able to revise the entire physics. Similarly, I have the same schedule for chemistry and same schedule for maths. Now, important is, many of you are asking, sir, what if I'm weak in physics? What if I'm weak in maths? Or what if I'm weak in chemistry? What should I do? So for those who are weak in respective subjects, I tell you, just concentrate on important topics. And today, I'm going to tell you which are the most important topics of physics, which are the most important topics of chemistry, and which are the most important topics of maths. So let's start. In physics, the most important topics that I have for you is, in week 1, we will have current electricity. So current electricity is the most important topic in week 1. Now, magnetism is important because I have seen a lot of questions, but most important is current electricity, because in current electricity I have seen 10% of the questions, 6 to 10%, which means we have 30 questions, and out of that 10% means 6% means 2 questions approximately. 2 to 3 questions are asked from current electricity chapter, right? So when I say percentage, it means out of 30 questions, what is the percentage? And therefore 10% means 2 to 3 questions. Now, in week 2, what is the most important topic is EMI and waves. So EMI waves are important topic in week 2, and you have to cover these 2 topics in week 2. And I'm talking about those who are weak in physics, right? Similarly, I will tell about the chemistry and maths, right? Week 3, you can't leave, and all the topics in week 3 you have to cover, because week 3 is very important, and again 10% comes from week 3, and you have plenty of time, entire week devoted to this particular topic. And don't worry guys, at the end I will be taking lot of questions towards the end, and I will end this entire webinar in approximately 30 minutes of time. So post that, I can take your questions. So stay if you have doubts till the end. Now week 4. I have kept a week 4 as a buffer because week 4 has the initial topic of 11th standard and they are not very important. And when I say not important, which means one question or two question comes and we can ignore at this point of time because we are concentrating on only those topics from which easy question comes and 2 to 3 question comes, right? So in week 5, we have collisions and rotation. Now, collision and rotation and center of mass, right? These are the topics. Now, this topic is tough. As a physics teacher, I can tell you that a lot of students, they struggle in this particular topic, center of mass, collision and rotation. But you don't have to do the entire center of mass, collision or rotation. For example, in rotation, if you are only concentrating on moment of inertia, angular momentum, not the impulse, angular momentum, moment of inertia and torque, most of the question in rotation comes from this topic only. And therefore, you don't have to actually talk about rolling motion. You don't have to actually go in deep of collisions because these are the topics which you have to leave. And therefore, a right mentor will tell you what to do in physics in these topics as well. And coming to week 6, we have thermal physics as the most important topic. And again, waves and sound over here. We'll cover waves and sound in week 6. And this was EM waves. So EMI waves, when I say, so it is EMI, AC and waves. And this is thermal physics, waves and sound, which is in 11th standard, right? So this is what we are going to cover in week 6. So guys, are you getting anything out of this or not? Are you really excited about this session? Just say yo and I will move ahead. Okay, awesome. Great guys, I'm just looking at this. Awesome. Chalo, great guys, and thank you. And let's go ahead and talk about the same thing in chemistry. Now, chemistry, I would recommend, and just a week back, I was in IIT Bombay talking to rank 1 of this year, Pranav Goyal, and rank 1 of last year, Sarvesh. And both of them suggested that NCERT is very important for chemistry. And when I say NCERT, most of the people, they actually feel that, oh, there is so less given in NCERT. So I was asking the same question from them that how should you read NCERT? And they said, sir, NCERT is the most important book because each and every question, at least in mains, comes from NCERT, and even in advanced, every question is from NCERT. And people miss the trick because they just read it once and they feel they are done with NCERT. But the trick with NCERT is that you should read it 3 to 4 times, especially inorganic and organic. And if you do that, especially the boxes, for example, if you are reading inorganic and there is a diagram of P2O5, you should understand and you should note it down that how many POP linkages are there, because question can be asked on POP linkages and people miss that. Oh, it is just a diagram and I will leave it. You have to look at the diagram, you have to look at the boxes and some important information written over there, and you have to just read it 3 to 4 times, and I'm telling you, you can score 100%, especially in inorganic and organic chemistry. So what is important in chemistry? In chemistry, as you can see in week 2, it is highly concentrated on organic chemistry, but here also most of the question comes from general organic chemistry. So if you are good at general organic chemistry, for example, the reaction mechanism, for example, what are the factors which are influencing the reactivity, the inductive effect, the resonance effect. So if you are good with those, most of the questions come and you will be able to tackle if you are very good in general organic chemistry, because question comes from aromatic and general organic chemistry caters most of them. So focus on general organic chemistry and go deep in general organic chemistry. So books like Himanshu Pandey sir's book or MS Chauhan's book, you actually do an exercise 1 or the easy level questions and you are done with that after reading the theory of NCERT. Okay, books I will take a separate session, so not today. Now in week 2, obviously I was talking about that. In week 2, aldehydes and ketones, but I have seen a lot of questions coming from alkyl and aryl halides. This topic, and mostly can be covered through general organic chemistry. So in entire organic chemistry, general organic is the most important, and most of the question can be covered from there. And then biomolecules and polymers is important because 2 questions are there from biomolecules and polymers. So you should focus on these topics in organic. Talking about week 3, equilibrium is a very important topic. And this sequence, if you follow, so what I have done is, you have to follow this sequence, those who are covering the entire length and breadth of chemistry, physics and maths. But these are the topics which I am marking is the most important topic. Out of those who feel that their chemistry is weak, they should be focused on this. I'm not saying that you should not focus on the entire thing. You should focus, but these are the most important topic. And in week 4, thermochemistry, again thermodynamics and thermochemistry, because it is good, important in physics. If you do in chemistry, it will just strengthen the physics part also, because both are similar except the sign convention. So most of the things that you do actually, most of the things that you do in chemistry can be actually taken in physics also in this chapter, thermodynamics and thermochemistry. Now in week 5, atomic structure, periodic table and chemical bonding, these are extremely important, and out of that also chemical bonding is the most important topic. Chemical bonding, I have seen almost 3 to 4 questions every year, and this is so very important. So atomic structure, periodic table, chemical bonding, thermodynamics, thermochemistry, general organic chemistry, equilibrium, and you can get 40 to 50% marks in chemistry. And the next most important in inorganic chemistry is P block elements, both of 11th and 12th, and again 10% of the questions are from P block elements. Now a lot of you ask how to remember this, and I always tell every student, especially in chemistry, read NCERT and solve objective questions just after reading. Those questions which you are not able to solve, go back again, read NCERT and see what are the questions, why you were not able to attempt or why you committed mistake. And that's the cycle if you follow. NCERT followed by objective questions and then followed by NCERT, and if you are following this cycle, you are going to remember it till April, till advance. You are not going to forget it. So this is the best way to remember inorganic and organic chemistry, and through that you can actually get 60 to 70% marks, right? So let's move to maths. Maths for many is one of the toughest subject while preparing for JEE. And myself and another co-founder, Pulkit, we actually went through the entire maths paper of the last 12 years, and we realized that in JEE mains, maths is one of the easiest to score, because you should know the trick, because the questions can be solved either by substitution or by elimination. It is so very easy. Most of the question can be solved, and therefore maths require a good mentor. Maths requires someone who can guide you how to attempt and how to see answers out of 4 options. And the most important topics in maths, even apart from it is easy, if you want to go in deep of these topics, there are few topics. For example, if you talk about this, the most important topic out of this is here coordinate geometry, which is straight line and circles. So straight line and circle is the most important topic in maths, which is covered in week 3. And if you go in week 4, vector and 3D is again very important, and all these topics have 10% weightage. And then here progression, sequence and progression in week 5 is very important. And then obviously one question from permutation, combination, probability, statistics come. And in week 4 we have another topic, determinants, which is very important. So all these topics, determinants, vector, 3D, progression, straight lines, circle, are extremely important and you cannot miss them. So guys, just revising the entire thing, what I was trying to say in physics, chemistry and maths is the topics that I have mentioned will help you get approximately 40% marks. And if you are done with these topics in depth, definitely 40 marks you are not going to, well, you are going to get 40% marks in each of the subjects. And those who are struggling in each of the subjects, you should definitely stick to these subjects and these topics, right? So those who are weak in physics, again current, electricity, thermodynamics, waves, and all these topics, rotation and collision, few important topics from them. If you cover that, you are done with physics. Similarly in chemistry, if you are done with equilibrium, chemical bonding, P block, and little bit of general organic chemistry, you are actually good to go in chemistry. And similarly in maths, straight line, circles, vectors, determinants, and progression, if you are done with these topics, you are good to go. So these are the only things. These are the only things? No. What you have got is the topics. Now, how to manage on a daily basis. And apart from these topics, apart from whatever I have told you till now, if you are going to follow few tips, which I am going to mention, 4 to 5 tips today, if you are going to follow that, trust me, the next 6 weeks to 8 weeks, what you are going to prepare for JEE Mains is going to be awesome, and you are going to get the rank which you just 10 minutes back committed yourself to, right? So let's go ahead and see what are the tips, and I definitely following that, I am guaranteeing you that you can definitely get a top 10 rank, right? But it depends on your hard work. So I will give you guidance. You have to give me hard work. Okay? So let's go ahead and see what are these tips. The first most important tip is no need to panic. Now, I was talking about Arjun Muralidhar. Arjun Muralidhar, that boy, he did not clear KVPY. He did not go to any coaching institute. And when he came to me, I told him that he can get a 500 rank. What he was thinking of getting a 5000 rank. So what happened? I gave him lot of things to do. Did he panic? The beautiful thing about Arjun was that he did not panic till the end. And no matter if his syllabus was not covered, he told, sir, my syllabus is not finished. I will just cover this much topic and whatever you tell me, but I will go in deep of that. And that because of that, I saw him increasing his potential on a daily basis. I could see that change on a daily basis. So guys, don't panic. And I was just talking to a kid half an hour before this webinar, and you know, I told him a very different scenario. Just imagine the worst scenario. What if you are not going to qualify? What then? Is it the end of the story? No, it's just the beginning. And if you start with the worst thing in your mind, you will never ever panic. Do not become casual, but do not panic. Right? Promise yourself today that you are not going to panic in another 90 to 100 days before your exam. You are not going to panic. Right? Panic. Lot of factors will panic you. Your school will try. Your friends will try. You will see their marks. Parents will compare with their marks and you will panic. But if you don't panic and keep on following the schedule, every day you should just talk to yourself and say, oh, I have added today this much to my knowledge. And that is it, right? So this is the first step. The second is, and I see a lot of students committing this mistake, that at this point of time they pick up 11th standard. They feel, oh, so I have actually forgotten entire 11th. Now let me start doing that. Let me start those topics which I am very weak at. And if it is not a priority topic which I mentioned, you should only focus on your strength at this point of time. Okay, so this looks very simple, but as in my experience, I have seen 80 to 90% of the students, what they do in this month is they start focusing on their weakest topics. Do not commit that mistake, because I always tell in my webinars that the competition is only between 50,000 kids and not between the 10 lakh students who are going to appear the JAN exam and overall 17 lakh students who will appear for the JEE Mains exam. It's not the competition between that 17 lakh. It's the competition only between 50,000. And now you will ask, how, sir? And you are asking that. Good. So you know how? In 11th standard, I have seen 90% of the students, they give up their hope. So out of 10 lakh, only 1 lakh students, because 9 lakh students, they give up their hope. They feel that, oh, I can't do it. No, let me just focus on school and I will not do anything else. Okay. So 1 lakh students are left. By that time, this time comes, October, November, then they start talking to themselves, oh, I'm not getting marks in school. You just had your mid-sem exam, and your parents would have been called to school and they would have been told, oh, your kid is not scoring this much mark in school, how can he clear JEE mains? And you say, yeah, he's telling the truth. Your parents will also say, they are telling the truth. Now beta, you should focus on boards. And now you panic. So you again lose that, and 50,000 students out of that 1 lakh, they give up their hope. And the rest who do not give up their hope, keep on preparing, whatever their level is, doesn't matter. And therefore, the cutoffs are 30%, 25% to clear into JEE Advanced. Why is it so low? Is it because the competition, there are so less people who are competing? Because they give up. So I just expect, which is another tip, and I will come to that. But before that, this is a very important key factor in your preparation, which is practice more tests. Because I have seen, again, taking the example of Arjun, and I am taking because today we are talking about Arjun. So his improvement, which the journey started from 140 marks in the initial tests, through that test, he used to give that test, he used to analyze that test, what were his weaknesses, then again after that test and another test, that gap, he used to actually put his entire energy on his weaknesses, those weaknesses we committed in that test. He used to read the theory for that from NCERT for physics and chemistry, and for maths, any objective book. And after that, he used to come back and he used to understand that, oh, now I have understood entire thing, and now let me just focus on another test and try to remove all these weaknesses. And from 150, I saw increasing to 180 to 220, and towards the end, not before April, he was getting around 200, and in April he started getting, just before his mains, 10 days before his mains, he was getting 250, and then towards the last 4 or 5 tests, he got 280 to 290, and that is the exact marks what he got in mains exam. He got 284 out of 360. So boy from 140 traveled to 284 marks, and that was major improvement happened through tests. Okay, and this tip, again, as we move, every tip is becoming more important and important, because this tip talks about minimum sitting hours. And this is the time, apart from your coaching, apart from your school, you should minimum sit for 3 hours with your subject. So typically what happens is, after every half an hour, we have an urge to either look at our mobile phones for messages, or we feel hungry, we need to get up. We find excuses to distract ourselves. And until unless you sit for 2 hours or 3 hours at one stretch, you are not going to prepare your mind and body for the exam, because all your exams, JEE mains, NEET, advanced, whatever exam you talk about, they have a minimum duration of 3 hours, and your body needs to be prepared for these 3 hours. And therefore, whenever you sit, you plan, okay, today I am going to only focus on physics, and I will take all the physics material with me and sit for 3 hours. And this is the minimum duration. And at this point of time, if you say that I am not able to, I say you have to. And if you can't sit for 3 hours, at least start with 2 hours and then increase your sitting capacity to 3 hours. Right? So this is what you are going to do, and actually increase your capacity. So this is tip number 4. Looks very simple, but it's very, very important. Moving ahead, I have already talked about this, that you have to give maximum time to inorganic, organic, and why I'm time and again emphasizing on chemistry and NCERT is because chemistry is 100% scoring. It is very easy, and if you give 1 hour daily and separate 1 hour daily, right, and it can be your morning time, because that is the time when you remember the most. If you just give yourself 1 hour to inorganic and organic, trust me, you will see wonders in your results, right? So this I have already covered. Moving ahead, obviously, apart from all these things, guys, what I feel is that you have to remain calm during the entire preparation. And you must have watched Kung Fu Panda, and there, the secret sauce. Somebody actually asks him that what is the secret sauce, and when he searches and finally finds a blank paper, that is the secret sauce. And there is no secret at all, guys. And all these things I am telling you to just make you focused towards your preparation, to be more determined towards your preparation. And if you follow the schedule that I have mentioned, follow the tips, the top 10,000 is going nowhere. You definitely are going to crack it, and you are going to crack it. Because if you not, then who is going to crack? You are the competition. If you are watching this webinar, then you are already motivated, determined to crack that exam. You are there within top 50,000. Now the question is whether you can push yourself enough to be there in top 10,000 or be there in top 5,000. Ask yourself that, isn't it? You are here in the webinar and you are determined. So guys, I hope you really have got something in this webinar. And with this, obviously, yes or no? Did you really got something out of this webinar? I'm just looking at the chat. Okay, so many guys. Yeah, guys, there are a lot of guys. For example, Chaitanya is asking free mock test. Yes, lot of free mock tests are available on Vedantu. You can practice them, and you can search for JEE Mains mock test Vedantu, and you will go to that link and you can actually get there, right? And for example, Itachi is asking how to become a theoretical physicist. You should actually go to ISC Bangalore or ISER. You should join all these institute. Right? See, I can see a lot of students, and for all those students who are really interested, I have one important thing. We, on the basis of this 6-week schedule, we are launching in the same exact fashion. We are launching the crash course, and this is the link for that crash course, vdnt.in. So vdnt.in/JEE Mains crash. If you go to that link, if you go to this particular link, you will be directed to a page and where the detail of the crash course is there. I will just take you there. Okay, so let me just go ahead and actually vdnt.in/JEE Main crash. Now, if you go to this particular link, you will actually see a lot of things over here. What this course contains. This course has live modules. For example, here this is one way, but in the live classes we have two-way discussion. So one discussion happens with, so you can ask your doubts within the class. You can interact with the teacher. You are formed one separate group in which all your teachers will be present, in which you can ask your doubts, queries. Your friends also answer there, and then once your mains is over, then we'll be also having CBSE board module. And apart from that, as I was talking about the importance of tests, there will be lot of tests covered in that. You can see lot of chapter wise tests, and then apart from that, chapter wise test is in the form of assignments which you will get at your home and in the form of PDF. And apart from that, there will be 10 part test and full test, and you can go through that entire detail. And the best part is that this whole thing is available to you at this particular price, which is given over here. You can actually scroll and go through it, and this entire thing is for those who are attending this webinar, right? So this is what actually this webinar is. But obviously I understand that lot of you will have query, lot of you will actually be going through, you know, problems. So I have actually shared an email ID also, which is AIR1. Of course, you all should aim, definitely, but everyone knows their potential and you should put at the right level where you are. And @vedantu.com. Here my team and along with me will be answering your query, and you can also get the PDF. So you can ask for the PDF of the schedule that I have just shared, so that you can download it, put a copy in front of you, and from there you can actually follow the schedule. So guys, once again, before I take your doubts, just close your eyes once again. again remind yourself of the rank that you have determined and you have actually told yourself, and tell that I'm going to achieve this rank. So are you going to achieve this rank or not? Yes or no? I'm asking a lot of questions. Let me again go back to this chat. Awesome, guys. So definitely you are going to get it. Trust me, nothing is better than your self-belief. And I have seen cities transforming, cities changing. We started our education journey in a very small town in Punjab, and there used to be no selection, no IIT selection. And the first batch we taught was a 12th batch, and somewhat like crash course and very small module of 12th. And from that, out of 30 students, 11 got selected, and that was the first time we saw the magic of belief, because initially they did not believe. And what we did not teach the subjects physics, chemistry or maths only. We just made them believe that you can do it. If your teachers have done it, you can do it. And when they started looking at us and believing that we have done it or just like us, right? They started believing in themselves, and the city transformed. Because from that city today, we see every year 50 to 100 students going into IIT, right? And that is not a mean feat. So it happens. It's just like a wildfire, and it happens. And therefore, when I'm saying that you can do it, I'm just saying with the belief, because I have seen that happening time and time again. All you have to do is believe in yourself and tell yourself that you can do it. Now I'm open to all the chats and doubts, right? So in college we did not get a good facility. Chaitanya is saying, don't worry guys, actually you just need to focus on this particular aspect, and whatever schedule that I have shared, and whenever you start, it happens from that time. Sirari, no, NCRT, I think you should focus only on first chemistry is the priority, and then physics maybe, because physics there are a lot of other good books as well, right? And maths though doesn't require. Then PM is asking, I have a lot of backlogs, what to do? Backlogs को भूल जाते हैं, अभी जो current state है वहां से start करते हैं. Just focus on the current state where you are, right? Droppers has the same strategy because you have the same amount of time, but you have more time because you are not going to school, right, Himanshu? Sai is asking, can we start preparing now and still achieve it? I have told you the story of Arjun. He achieved it. You can achieve it too. Prabhav is asking, make JEE paper 2, a video on that. Definitely we can have a live session on that too. And Dovell is asking, Patiala is the city? Yes, Patiala was the city where we started. If Rohit is asking, if we take crash course of Vedantu and work sincerely, can we score 50%? That's why we started the crash course, right? Lavanya is asking opinion about today's KVPY SX papers. So I have not seen the paper. I will just go and review because I think it was online. I had not seen the paper till now. I will just look at that once we get the paper. Yes, definitely within 5,000 and 10,000, Aman, you can definitely get a NIT. Depends on which NIT. PDF, I have shared the email ID, which is air1@vedantu.com. Drop a mail and we'll give you the PDF. How to be astrophysicist, Aryan? Join ISER or ISC Bangalore and you have a great chance, or join any aerodynamics course at at IIT Bombay, and for that you have to really work hard, but definitely these are the ways to get into astrophysics, right? How to give JEE exam, that I will take in December towards the end. Shija, right? Which books for all subjects for JEE mains? Ujjwal, this is a pertinent question and I will address all the students, because which book is not important? Any book, but you have to complete that book. That is very important. So important thing is pick up any book, but complete it. Okay. Now for IIT Powai, which rank is required? Technical is asking. So basically for IIT Powai, I think till 2,500 rank you can get into IIT Powai in JEE Advanced. Others, how much are to study daily? I think you should definitely subscribe. And if you like this, guys, please like, the video and subscribe the channel, because you will be getting on YouTube lot of such videos are there already, and lot of new things will keep on coming, some in the form of live, some in the form of videos, right? So for example, this question, how many hours to study, there is a very good video by Pahul sir on YouTube channel. So you subscribe to YouTube channel on Vedantu YouTube channel, and you will get lot of videos there, right? Now, which books for maths, objective solving, Cengage, or any book of Arihan, Cengage, any book is important. Sahil is asking, can I get 250 marks by following this strategy? Sahil, it depends on the test strategy. This strategy plus how many tests you are giving. How to learn something quickly, that I think again on YouTube channel, Sundar sir has taken a memorizing techniques. So a video on memorizing technique is there. You can actually watch that. And guys, if you have any further query and you are asking about my number, it's very difficult because I get a lot of phone. I don't pick up that, but you can be connected with me on this email ID, AIR1, and I always go through the this email ID on a daily basis, right? So Rakesh is asking very good question, Vedantu versus Baiju. So that is not where I should comment. All important is Vedantu versus any other institute. It depends on your connect with the teachers. If you are connected with teachers anywhere, you will always succeed. So you should always find a right mentor, right? And should I prepare for Olympiads, Arkash? It depends what kind of preparation you are already, what is your level. Because if you are already aiming advanced, then Olympiad definitely you should prepare. But if you feel you are doubtful about advanced, then you should not prepare for advanced and only concentrate on mains. Again, I was an early morning student, and my another co-founder who's from IIT Bombay was a late night student. So it doesn't matter at all. Wherever you study, it doesn't matter at all, right? Rahul is asking which book for physics. H.C. Verma is a very good book, but I think objective 1 and objective 2 of H.C. Verma you should definitely solve, right? And Alvinder, how to be a pilot, I really don't know, right? I can't tell you that. Can we crack JEE mains without coaching? Jayesh is asking. Definitely. The only thing coaching does is make your time. They actually shorten your time of preparation. So what you can prepare in a day, the teacher can teach you in just 1-2 hours. So that after that you are only solving questions. That is the only advantage. Krishnan, you can definitely, DPP is also there. So you can talk to the sales team. They can actually help you find the DPP, right? DPP. Sonal is asking live session for NEET. Definitely, Sonal, I will try, and very soon in next week or next to next week we are having a session by me on NEET, because last year only my student got AIR1 in AIMS. So definitely I should have a session on NEET also, right? And is this time for basic? Vishal, always there is a time for basic, and we should definitely go for basic because everything is hidden in basic, right? Rajiv, possible to crack in 2 months? It depends on your belief. If you are believing in yourself, nothing is impossible, because the word impossible itself as I am possible, right? So again, all those funda shit. And where to focus, theory or question practice? JEE main paper 2 webinar, definitely. So guys, lot of questions still coming, and I think the time is up. For more questions, I think you should mail me on aim.air1@vedantu.com, and I will definitely try to answer all your queries there, and you can get a PDF there. So see you then. And again, Avinash, can you show the link? So here on this particular thing, if you go vdnt.in JEE main crash, you will find all the information related to this crash course. And I hope you had a wonderful time, and trust me, I am there with you. All you need to believe yourself, and I will just hold your hand and take you to the ranks that you have dreamt today, right? And that you promised yourself today. So with that, all the very best. Start working hard. Do not think I'm confused. Do not panic. Just every day try to work as much as possible. See, 2 hours is also good. And if you waste that 2 hours thinking that what should I do, that is a waste of time. So 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, 24 hours, doesn't matter. Keep on working hard till your JEE mains exam. Okay? See you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Tata.